All right, time for us to tackle a little sports in the law. My friend Steve Moskowitz is here to answer some questions. Now, the city of Memphis, Tennessee, they're going to return $2.38 million to over 900 professional athletes because something called the jock tax is going to run out. And so, Steve, I'll start with the simple one. What is the jock tax?
Foolishly, they went with a flat tax of $2,500, and they said, this is on you whether you're a bench warmer or you're a star, and the court said, no, this is unfair. And the irony here is some of these players get paid so much, if they just did a small percentage, they would have made more money, which is basically what they're going to do, redraft it. So this is one of those victories where the taxpayers won, but the end result is they're going to be paying more taxes. So before you just go ahead and do something, you want to consider the results.
Oh, that's very interesting. So they are going to return the money. What forces the city or state to return the money to the
Oh, that's easy. The court in their infinite wisdom says what you've done is unfair, unconstitutional, unlawful, therefore give the money back. And the city probably thought that too, because they were putting the money aside because they pretty much knew that they did something they shouldn't have.
Oh, really? That's very interesting. Are there other cities or states doing this, or is Memphis unique to this process?
No, other places look at it, and we've seen this before. And what happens is when they see the athletes, they get so greedy, and they say, hey, these are basically visitors who are not taking any services. They make a lot of money, rock 'em, sock 'em, and the law has to be the same for everybody. No.
I want to understand this. Memphis has basketball. Nashville has the hockey team.
Yes.
Is this strictly city-based, or is this a Tennessee order that's going on?
That's part of what they're working on, because they all look at each other and say, wait a minute. Because in law, you take a look at, well, here's what happened in this other case, and my case is like it. So basically what they should do, if they're smart, is refocus everything, and they could actually do much better.
By the way, if I'm on the roster of a team, but I don't get into the game, were they still trying to tax me because I really wasn't performing?
Absolutely, but you're there and you're earning money, and that's the way they try to tax you.
All right, fair enough. That's but they're going to end up redrafting it and find a way.
Sad, but there's always taxes.
All right, next one, Lionel Messi. This has to do with a world-renowned superstar soccer player, globally known, coming to the Bay Area for Argentina. He plays for Barcelona. He's at a tax trial. It began this week in Spain. The charges here, Steve, are that he was trying to move some of his personal money around. Is that right? To some accounts so that he wasn't taxed on it?
Yes, and what happens here is a criminal trial, and it's both him and his daddy. They've already paid the civil part, the money part, and the Spanish prosecutors are trying to put him away for 22 months to say, hey, you've done wrong, we're making an example. Now, basically what he said is, look, I've just done the things that Apple has done. I've set up offshore entities, and they're the ones, not me. However, they're making a crusade out of him. So hopefully he'll get off on the criminal area. And even if he gets convicted, he's got a good shot at not doing any time.
Is he unique to this process, or are other superstar athletes involved?
Oh, this has happened before. Look at the race car driver that went to trial, and he beat it. It was essentially the same thing where you set up entities. And again, the Fortune 500 does this all the time. Look at these corporations, billions in profit, no taxes. That's how they do it.
The officials in this case said of Messi, they said, this is actually the officials, Messi is unfamiliar with the tax issues here. Does this help his case?
Greatly, because in the criminal law, in order to get a criminal conviction, you have to show that you didn't know you're doing anything wrong. Even if you were wrong, if you didn't form the intent, that's where you walk away scot-free on a criminal case, and that's what this is, a criminal case.
All right, let's move into our third story here, Steve. This has to do with the San Francisco Giants, and they would like to have their property taxes lowered. First, why? What grounds?
They're saying, look at this old rundown stadium we're forced to play in, and they're pointing to other stadiums that are newer that have gone down in value. That's the whole idea with property taxes. The property is less value, therefore less tax.
I can make the argument that was a dilapidated old area of town nobody would go to unless you were looking for drug deals or other unfortunate things. They've actually raised the value. Could it be raised? Could their property tax be raised because it's so much better?
Could be, but that's what their lawyers are arguing. Their lawyers are arguing, saying, look, the stadium's 16 years old now, and it is not as valuable, and there's other better stadiums around, and they've gone down, and they're newer, our property tax. And what you see is other people do this. Larry Ellison did this with his properties. And any homeowner can do that and say, look, I can test the value. value should go down. I should pay less in property taxes. And a lot of people fight that.
That's interesting. In this case, though, how likely is it? Because they have a sellout every night. They've got a consecutive streak of sellouts. Everyone talks about how beautiful the ballpark is, and it's the best new, they still consider it new ballpark in the majors. How likely is it that they get reassessed?
They've got a good shot, but here we're talking about, this is very political, but again, they've got a good shot here. And remember, this is a business concept, and for business, it's a good idea why they want to do it.
This is an interesting case. I'll have to follow this one. Steve Moskowitz, our sports and the law expert.
My favorite, all taxes.
Absolutely. That's why we've got you here. You're an expert there. Thanks, Steve.
Always a pleasure.
The Cavs have been hitting on all cylinders, but it's been more than just LeBron. Kerry Keating has a film breakdown on the Cavs. That's straight ahead as we get ready for the NBA Finals on Sports Talk Live.